live stream. How's everyone doing? Everyone staying safe out there? We have that blizzard warning that's now in effect north of the river. That goes in effect at 3 a.m. this morning, well, overnight tonight, 3 a.m. And that's going till 3 a.m. on Monday. Now that's for counties north of the river. And for the rest of us, it's a winter storm warning. So go ahead and finish this. Now, let us know what kind of weather you're getting out there right now. What's going on is I have a different monitor. I had a monitor that went out, and so I'm kind of using multiple monitors here, and it's kind of the main monitor I'm using. The resolution isn't that great, so it's kind of kind of tricky to do it here. Okay. Okay. Share. Alright, so in about 5 minutes, we'll go ahead and get started here. Go ahead and comment below any questions you have, or share any storm reports that you have. Group of all right, everyone. Okay, so we are just about ready to go live here. Hello everyone, this is David Stevens. Thank you for joining us. We do have quite the storm out there, and if you've noticed, north of the Missouri River, we now have a blizzard warning that goes in effect overnight at 3 a.m. So definitely going to be messy conditions up there. Travel definitely is not advised anywhere in the area. So blizzard warning goes in effect 3 a.m. tonight, so any location north of the Missouri River. So we're going to have strong winds of 35 miles per hour greater for at least 3 hours. So that's why we're getting the blizzard warning, and snow accumulations about 9 to 14 inches in that region, along with a little bit of freezing rain and some sleet. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the latest Doppler radar here, and go ahead and put this into motion, zoom in, get a better look at the area here. So here in the local area, Oak Grove and Odessa, it's mostly sleet, and then freezing rain down towards Holden and Warrensburg. A little bit of snow mixed in, but right now it's mostly snow and sleet for us here in Jackson and Lafayette counties. And then north of the river, we are seeing quite a bit of locations switching over to snow already, and that will continue to be the case as we head into the overnight hours here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears here and show you the warning areas here and kind of go over the different advisories that we have out, since we have numerous ones issued right now. So I'll start with us right here. It's a winter storm warning of 6 to 14 inches of snow and ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. Now, again, that's additional to what we've had already, and winds could gust as high as 40 miles per hour. So that's going until 3 a.m. on Monday. So definitely do not recommend traveling in that location here. The blizzard warning, I'll go ahead and read that. That's for, there's 2 warnings right now for north of the river here. So they also are under the winter storm warning. And as for the heavy mixed precipitation, total snow and sleet accumulations up to 2 inches, and ice accumulations around a light glaze, because they're going to get more sleet initially than more snow. And then the blizzard warning kicks in at 3 a.m. tonight, and blizzard conditions expected with total accumulations between 8 and 13. And again, winds could gust as high as 40 miles per hour. So definitely travel is not definitely not advised in that location here. I'll go ahead and turn off the warnings here. And we do have Miami County. This looks like we do have 639 power customers without power so far in Miami County. That is the current power outages here. Now, what I want to go ahead and do while I have this on here is take a look at, this is the snow and rain. Yeah, this is the winter radar here. Go ahead and do some changes here. Okay, just bear with me one moment. I gotta do some changing here. I'm going to go ahead and change this here a little bit, so it'll do a better job picking up on the light precipitation here. So this is a look at the forecast radar here. This was from all the way from 18Z. I'm going to go ahead and change this. This is GFS model. I'm going to change it to the HRRR model. And this is for 9 o'clock. So I'll go ahead and put this in motion. So by 10 o'clock, definitely still a lot of sleet here in Lafayette Jackson counties. And this pink right here is more of freezing rain. So again, it's going to be a mixed bag of precipitation. And then as we head towards daybreak, this particular model has us right on the edge of wanting to switch over to all snow. But I think that will not happen until after noon. This has the switch over to all snow around 2. So sooner we can switch over here in Odessa and Oak Grove, the more snow we'll have opposed to ice. One saving grace, which I shouldn't really say because it's a massive storm, is we are seeing more sleet than ice. So once you get mostly freezing rain, then that's when you can start having the major problems, especially once you hit half an inch of ice on the power lines, especially when you get into an inch of ice. The reason why I bring up an inch of ice is that's what's expected way down there in southeast Missouri, where they do have a freezing rain advisory. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into total snowfall. Now, this model only goes out to 2 p.m. tomorrow, so it's not going to show all of the snow that's going to fall, but it'll show you what is falling until the end of the model here. So again, that's the precipitation model here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. This is total snowfall accumulation, so out west up to about 18 inches of snow according to this model. And now keep in mind that this is definitely not all of it, because there's going to be more snow that'll fall after 2 p.m. But just up until 2 p.m. that this is what's expected until then. And I can go ahead and show freezing rain up to 2 p.m. tomorrow night. So down in southeast Missouri will be the bullseye of the freezing rain. And same way down here in Henry County, down towards Truman Lake and Clinton area, well, they're going to get more ice than we were. So that's definitely, travel in this area is not advised at all. So I want to go ahead and switch gears and talk about the road conditions. Actually, give me one moment here. Switch over to the radar real fast here. Again, this is the latest animation showing the snowstorm in our area. Go ahead and zoom in for you. And again, just lots of mixed precipitation, lots of sleet mainly right now for Jackson and Lafayette County, and then more freezing rain to the south, and then more snow mixing in up to the north. But once you get up towards St. Joseph, it's all snow for the most part. Same way here, Livingston County up here, Chillicothe, Carrollton, you guys are seeing all snow at the current moment. Go ahead and zoom that out. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the National Weather Service website here, and this shows just how large of an area that this storm covers. Basically, all the way to from Hays, Kansas, all the way to Washington, D.C. That is a huge swath of land, and for us, again, the main thing right now to deal with is the mixed precipitation, and then after midnight the winds will kick up for all of us, and then especially blizzard conditions up to the north here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take a look at a couple different things here. Go ahead and see if I can pull up the road conditions here and see if I can pull that up here on the fly here. So, road conditions, pretty much all covered in the area here. And I bet if we clicked on the camera, we probably will not be able to see much of anything. Yeah. That is iced over, same way here. Yeah, not really going to see much. Numerous accidents being reported here. Again, not going to see much. They're going to be ice covered. See a little bit more with that scout camera there, but again, not much of anything. And we go ahead and zoom out. Whoa, not like that. Okay, zoom out. You see pretty much covered roadways throughout the whole region. Again, I imagine it's still showing green down to our south, so towards Henry County and Bates County. And over towards Benton County. But for us, if you're asking what the roads are like, just no travel is not advised right at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and go back to our radar here. I'm going to spend most of our time tonight on the radar here as... Okay, here, sorry about that here. So... zoom out, see if I can get a look at the whole region here. Now, I have a lot of followers up here in Siouxland. I mainly cover Siouxland. For us in Siouxland, not going to get much of anything. Maybe some flurries. Nothing really at all to worry about. Maybe a coating of snow at best here in Sioux City. Now, for you folks in Omaha, what's happening right now, we have a lot of dry air up north. So that dry air is definitely cutting into the snow totals. And I'm going to go ahead and switch radar here. And again, a lot of this here in Sioux City, not reaching the ground. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take a look outside. So to see if anything's accumulating. Yeah. don't see anything outside yet to snow, and I'm not really too excited about anything here in Sioux City, except for dusting. Again, down here in Omaha, the models. This is something that I found interesting. The models here in Omaha was showing quite a bit of snow, but then there was dry air. So that dry air is a killer when it comes to snow. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out, show the region. There you go, as this precipitation moves northward into our region. It's just going to be a messy mess through pretty much Monday morning, and travel on Monday still not going to be advised. And so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Kansas City radar here and take a look here. So this color right through here, this is sleet. The pink is freezing rain. And again, it's not exact. It's the radar guesstimating based on data, the precipitation type. So it does a pretty good job of detecting the different types of precipitation here. So again, main point to pass along tonight will be more snow north of the river, a little bit less snow for us here in Odessa and Oak Grove here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put on, I'm going to go ahead and go back to our model here. Okay. Go back here to radar Omega. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get some more data. Okay, on total. Oh, there you go. Alright. Switch models here. I'll go to the NAM. And I'll go total precipitation. 10-to-1 ratio, and maybe a little bit higher than that. Some areas north of us will be about 15-to-1 ratio. So this will be, now you're gonna see crazy numbers. So showing 20 inches of snow, no big deal, 20 inches of snow. But mind you, this is a model, and a lot of this will be sleet. But again, it's possible we could get more than a foot, but I really don't think at this time that we will get the 20 inches of snow. And then down to the south is showing about 8 inches down towards Warrensburg. And so pretty much all of Johnson County, Cass County will be about 7 inches. And we get into Pettis County towards Sedalia, about 8 inches. And then if you head on out to Columbia, about 13 inches of snow. But the bullseye in our area, right through here, up here in northeast Kansas, it could be an area, a couple areas more than 20 inches. Now, if you're going to have extreme snowfall north of the river, it's more likely. For us, possibility 8 inches to 12 inches here in Lafayette and Jackson County. And then, of course, less down south because there's going to be more snow. So I'm going to go ahead and get the freezing rain on here. And this will be the total ice accumulations. And when I say ice, mainly talking about your freezing rain that sticks to the power lines. That's what really creates the trouble out there, is when it sticks to the power lines. So down south towards Henry County, you're getting about 1/4 inch total. Now this is storm total. So the lake, Struma Lake area, could possibly get up to 1/2 inch of ice down there. So definitely could cause some power outages. And then the folks down across southeast Missouri could get 1 inch or more of ice. Now that's a lot of ice, folks. A lot of ice here. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and show the warnings again if it's just now tuning in. I'll go ahead and switch this off to, Actually, I'm going to go ahead and start with our precipitation type since I already have this on here. I'm going to go back in time. So that's 9 a.m. Go ahead and start this at 11 p.m. Definitely have sleet still being the main precip type here for Lafayette and Jackson County. So that will pretty much be the case. It may mix in more with snow tomorrow morning. And this particular model has us switching over to snow sooner. So by about 9 to 11, we'll be on the edge of the snow and freezing rain. Well, snow and sleet mainly. And it'll all be snow for the rest of the afternoon. It could be heavy at times. And the snow will move out by midnight and be totally out of the region by 6 or 7 a.m. Completely out of pretty much the state at that point. But again, roads are going to be hazardous, very hazardous, still on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and see if I can pull up YouTube here and see if we have any questions going. Any questions or comments? Not yet. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the radar on the screen here, and I will be back in a little bit. I'm going to gather some more information, and then I'll be back later with some more information as it becomes available. I'm going to give everyone an update here. Now we do have some power outages coming in right now here. Go ahead and zoom in here on our Radar Omega product. We are definitely seeing more power outages coming in. So over towards Franklin County in Kansas, we're over 1,000, almost 2,000 customers. Miami County, about 780. In Anderson County, Kansas, we are seeing more power outages as well. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears and go to radar here. And again, I'll go ahead and turn off that heater. The heater's kind of loud here, so I'll tone that down here. It gets a little bit cold, but it's also loud on the live stream, and I don't want that to be loud for you on the live stream here. So go ahead and take a look here. So Radar Omega showing that it's mostly sleet mixed with some snow for us here. And as you notice, the colors are a little bit different among the three. Here's another radar product still showing sleet, and so just a difference depending on the vendor here. But for the most part, it's trying its best to figure out what kind of precipitation is falling out there right now. So I'll go ahead and go back to radar Omega here, to Rain Valley. Mainly sleet right now, mixed with snow. Actually, let me know what you're getting out there in your hometown, in your neck of the woods here. And I'll pass it along and pass it along with anyone else in the live stream. But for the most part, north of the river is mostly snow. And then back towards these areas down here where we're already seeing the power outages. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more power outages. So make sure that you have plans in case you lose heat. A fireplace works great. So definitely, like I said, have a plan. And I hope everyone's stocked up on everything. We did have the bread and milk emergency declared already, so that happened pretty much all week, really, for days. We've been hyping it. I typically don't hype storms, and I'm a straight shooter. Say, hey, chance there could be some snow or winter storm, but on this particular one, all the data was coming in. We was watching the storm out in the Pacific Ocean, and all the modeling was showing a lot of ice and some snow. Well, shouldn't say some snow. I mean, this is going to be definitely a record-breaking snowstorm. Historic, because this storm stretches pretty much from Hays. Actually, I'll show you right now. So this storm, it stretches all the way from pretty much Hays, Kansas, all the way to... I'll go ahead and switch over to our winter radar product here. So Hays is somewhere back here, right there, okay? So this storm, when it's all said and done, it will produce a huge ice. There's a lot to this system. There's heavy snow, there's blizzard. Even if you're not in a blizzard running, you're still going to get some very strong winds blowing snow and lots of drifts. And then the storm will track all the way through basically Washington, D.C. So we do have the warnings and advisories stretching all the way over there. In fact, go ahead and show the advisories right now. I'll put that back up there on the screen. So a lot of stuff on this screen, and I'll go ahead and play the radar while I'm going over this data. So warnings all the way through Colorado, and Colorado, for them, this is regular storm, but for us, this is a huge storm. So places like Wichita, Kansas, Great Bend, Dodge City, Hays, Hutchinson, all blizzard warnings through Topeka, and then we came really close to a blizzard warning there. But just to the north effect, one moment, I'm going to take a look at the National Weather Service real fast and see if that area has changed at all. Actually, it has. Okay, so we now have, it looks like it's been shifted to include Saline, Jackson, and Lafayette County. So, same thing, until 3 a.m. winter storm warning, and then a blizzard warning from 3 a.m. Sunday to 3 a.m. Monday. So, visibilities are going to be way, way low. Please don't travel unless it's an absolute emergency. If you're just now joining us, the blizzard warning has been extended south to include Jackson and Lafayette counties and over towards Marshall. And zooming out just to show you an idea of how big this storm is. Warnings are stretching all the way to Washington, D.C. And I'll go ahead and put the radar back on the screen for you. And we'll put this into motion here. So big system, strong system, located currently. Looks like it's over Wichita here. I'll go ahead and take a look at the satellite data. Go ahead and turn on the water vapor here. Water vapor is a measure of the moisture in the atmosphere. Okay, here we go. Okay, go back to the radar here. A lot of data here. That's our regular reflectivity. I go ahead and put into winter weather mode. And for those watching us from Sioux City, since we typically focus on the Siouxland area, you'll see in snow on radar, there's a lot of dry air in the atmosphere that eats away at the snow. So what's happening really in Sioux City, I'll go ahead and demonstrate this here, is where we're at in Sioux City is we're in between two radars. And so we have a radar up in Sioux Falls and a radar down here in Omaha, okay? So Sioux City is right here, right, between the two radars. So as the radar beam goes into the atmosphere, in fact, I'll switch over and show you a live radar here. See the little scan go across the screen there. So what's going on there? Oh, I'll go ahead and show here. So as the radar's turning, it's scanning, and so at the farther away the beam goes from the satellite dish, the radar dish, the higher up in the atmosphere the beam is. So what happens is by the time both radars reach Sioux City, it's way up into the atmosphere. So it's hitting the snow that's fallen in the atmosphere, but that dry air is evaporating the snow before it hits the ground. So that's why a lot of times in the apps, you'll see snow that's not reaching the ground. One thing that is beneficial is, say, if you click on if you're into the weather, like looking at radars, if you look at the actual single site radar in Omaha and then Sioux Falls, and if you see a donut hole, see all this precipitation but donut hole, and and every time the precipitation or the snow looks like it gets right to Omaha or Sioux Falls where the radar is and it evaporates, that's dry air. So that's one way you can look at it, or you can look at sounding data. If you know how to read the SCUT and sounding data, you can look for the dry areas, dry layers and stuff like that. So anyway, that was just an explanation for us here in Sioux City why it looks like it's snowing and it's been that way for hours, but nothing's reaching the ground. In fact, for our friends in Omaha, it looks like they're still under the winter storm warnings. They're still going to get snow down there, but I want to look at the model data there and see exactly for our friends down there in Omaha. All right, here, let's go ahead and see. I'll go NAM. So I'll put this into motion again. Alright, so storm system, yeah, they are under a winter weather advisory for, in Omaha though, additional 2 to 4 inches in Omaha is what the National Weather Service is going for, and that's till 6 a.m. on Sunday. Technically here in Sioux City, we don't have anything as far as alerts. However, Western Siouxland, a winter weather advisory is in effect for 2 to 4 inches of snow, and that's going until 6 p.m. tomorrow. So for us in Siouxland, again, not a big deal, but down to our friends down across Kansas and Missouri, really getting hammered right now with snow. And this particular model has a switch over a little bit earlier than the other model did, so therefore they're going for heavier snowfall amounts. And let's go ahead and take a look and see about, this is RAP here. Let's go ahead and take a look at GFS and track this for you. Okay. I'm going to put that Yeah, data goes by a little fast, so this is 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, it looks like this data may have the switch over just a tad bit earlier. This is still showing noon for all snow, but again, if this area right through here in Lafayette County becomes all snow sooner, then you could definitely see more snow. So I'll go ahead and take off the warnings, because I know it gets kind of cluttered there on the screen there. Turn off the warnings. I kind of wish there was a better way of doing that. And then I'll go back and show the snowfall and see if anything's changed. So this particular model, see, this is what okay, yeah, so this particular model through the 8th. Okay, so you see just Lafayette County, for example. Okay, how about this? You go from Green Valley, Oak Grove, about 13 inches of snow. Then you get Bates City. Then you get towards Odessa. Oh, 6 inches. See the very, very steep cutoff in the snow accumulations. And then 6 inches, 4 inches down towards 4 to 6 inches down to Warrensburg. And then this particular model has the 15, 16 inches north of the river. So, and then Kansas City is showing about 13 inches of snow with the bullseye over here towards Manhattan. So definitely strong cutoff, strong gradient. And that's to be expected with the storm this big. With basically what's happening is the temperature effect. I'll go ahead and go here. So what happens is the temperature in the atmosphere is above freezing. So it depends on what layers you're looking at. So if it's above freezing and then it melts, okay. Well, in fact, I should have a chart here. Let me see if I can draw one for you. All right, we're going to do this in real time, folks. We're going to do this in real time. All right, let's see if this will work here. Okay, so, yeah, how about this? Okay, so you have the atmosphere, right? All right, so look at the atmosphere as a column of air. This may not show up that well. Okay, yeah. Actually, I got an idea. Folks. I don't know if it's a good one, but it is an idea. Okay. I'll get a marker. All right. So we're going to do this in real time, folks. We're going to do this in real time. All right, so when we look at the atmosphere, we look at it as column. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm back in the action here. All right, so this is the surface, and then this is the atmosphere, right? Okay, now sometimes it could be freezing. Okay, freezing backwards. Okay, down at the surface, right? But it's above freezing, right? So 32 degrees plus, okay, up in the atmosphere, right? So it's all gonna be rain, okay? And it freezes on contact, okay? Or what you could do is have below freezing. This is gonna be, I should have thought this out a little bit better here. So you could have below freezing, 32 and below, warm later, and then freezing. Okay, so basically you have different precipitation types depending on what kind of temperatures aloft you have. So if it's all in your profiles all below freezing, then it's all going to be snow. Basically, you start off with snow, and then it goes to a warm layer in the atmosphere, it'll melt, and then refreeze, and then you can have things like sleet, or you could just have all rain, but then at the surface is below freezing, and then you're going to get the icing problem with the freezing rain. So again, that was just a little kind of sidetracked there. Just want to show you the reason why in our modeling data, and when you look at the radar, we have such a big gradient in a precipitation type out there tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at the latest radar information. We're going to use a lot of radar information right now here, and go ahead and go through here. Okay, get the latest thing. So when you see this live beam flashing, that's the radar just switching angles, or basically it tilts. So you have the dish that tilts to get the different information on each layer. So sometimes you'll see a flash, and that's them adjusting. Well, it does it automatically through a computer, the satellite dish. So basically, I just want to point that out, what that flashing means. So anyway, we just got new information coming in here. Again, pretty much the same thing. We do have more freezing rain mixed in with snow down to the south. But then really you get south of the lakes, it's all rain towards Springfield area down here and Pittsburgh, Kansas here. And then for us, you do have that area down towards Cass County, Johnson County, and southward in the freezing rain area. And then mainly sleet for us with some snow mixing in. And then north of the river, it looks like all snow with significant accumulations likely at this point here. So sorry for the jumping around tonight. Just a lot of stuff I want to look at here. A lot of data coming in here. And I'm going to go ahead and go back here. Okay, Al. Thank you for watching. I'll go ahead and look at that now. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take a look at Lawton here. So I'm going to do a little bit behind the scenes, look at some models here. I'll leave the radar up there right now for Lawton and get the latest information here. How is everyone doing tonight? Okay, so basically same thing. We have a lot of dry air. So just looking at the latest data here, and I'll go ahead and take a look at the radar here. Go ahead and go up here to this Lawton here. So basically, not much of anything really for you out there a lot, and we have a lot of dry air, so you may get some flurries out there. If anything, probably a dusting at best there. Again, the radar's showing it's been snowing for a while, but we have a lot of dry air that's eating at the snow total, so that's why we're not seeing anything up here in the Siouxland area as far as snow, though. If there is going to be snow, it'd be more snow than just flurries. It would be back towards western Siouxland here, over towards Knox County and O'Neill. But again, most of the snow will be way to the south here, and that's why the focus is down in the Kansas and Missouri region right now, as they're going to see significant winter storm out of this, ice storm, blizzard, and just general nasty weather, at least through early Monday before the system moves out for them. So thank you again for watching, and I've noticed we got a lot of subscribers lately. I want to thank everyone for subscribing. If you subscribed, go ahead and comment there in the chat to let me know, so I can personally thank you for that, because I really appreciate that. Pretty much we're starting this channel from scratch, and my goal is to mainly provide severe weather information, severe weather coverage, and then I work a full-time job, and so this is going to be. I've always been interested in meteorology and went to school for meteorology, and so now I'm really wanting to dedicate some time to start a YouTube channel, and my goal is to take it full time eventually. So I appreciate your support, and if anyone else has any questions or would like to know specifics for your local area, feel free to comment below, and I will take a look at that information for you. All right, let's see here. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to regroup here, get some information here. All right. So, thank you again for asking about Lawton here. Burlington, Iowa. Okay, let me go ahead and take a look here. Let me go ahead and mute that for you. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'll go ahead and take a look at some data before I answer that. Always want to go ahead and look at the all the data you can. Okay. Now you guys down there, you guys have a winter weather advisory though. Snow is likely here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and see how dry. Okay. Quad cities. Go ahead and take a look at the radar here. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you notice how as the snow's moving towards the radar here, radar in Davenport, it's having a hard time. So it's still a lot of drier aloft. So we work our way into the overnight and the storm continuing to move its way eastward. There is a chance that we could saturate enough, but to say if it's going to be the criteria for a winter storm, it's kind of hard at the moment to determine that. Go ahead, go back here. There you go, Burlington. So go ahead and, sorry about that, I'm looking in real time here. I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the model data for your location. Alright. Yeah, so this particular model has about 4.8 inches of snow on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. Now we're getting new data, so a lot of this data is not in yet, but there's enough data in that I can pinpoint to the end of the storm. So I'm going to go ahead and load this here. Okay, now this is the latest data. Okay, yeah, it's not looking good for Burlington. Snow coming up, you're right on the edge. I really don't think at this point make it to winter storm criteria. It may just be below it. Yeah. So specifically a couple inches here, maybe up to 4 inches. So anyway, thank you for asking. Yeah, any other locations you guys want me to look up? Take a look at the radar here. Sorry about that, guys. A lot of information I'm looking at behind the scenes, looking at traffic, power outages. Okay, not really seeing much in the way of power outages yet. Just those few areas here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the radar and move it over towards, there you go, Zoom in, change the radar here. Alright, so again, main focus area will be the Kansas City area. Now, as the storm evolves and moves eastward, then we will see more winter storm warnings. As far as Burlington, looks like any warnings for winter storm criteria would be south of there. So that's good news for up there if you don't like a lot of snow. If you're a snow lover, then 3 to 4 inches, according to the latest model, is what looks likely from this storm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break here. I'm going to check to see if there's any more questions here, and then I will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I'm back and apologize for the sound of the heater in the background running there for you. I just had a question on Facebook about South Sioux City, and I want to go ahead, and I know I have a lot of people that watch up here in Sioux City. Give everyone an update here. Now the radar has been showing snow in Sioux City for the last couple of hours now. There's a lot of dry air, and what happens is the snow aloft is evaporating before it reaches the ground. So that's why nothing's reaching the ground. So for South Sioux City, the question was, are we going to get a lot or a little bit of snow? And if you're a snow lover, it looks like maybe a flurry at best that could go through the dry layer. So maybe we could get dusting, but again, it's not looking likely, even back towards western Siouxland. So again, folks out in western Siouxland are under the advisory, and that is, go ahead and take a look at the latest advisory information for that area out through here, out through western Siouxland here. And switch gears. Sorry about the delay, folks. I got a lot going on the screen, and my main monitor I had crashed on me, so I'm kind of operating a slightly different than what I'm used to. So I'll go ahead and take a look at the Radar Omega here. So this is Radar Omega, excellent program for anyone that loves the weather here. You can get a lot of good information on Radar Omega. So I'll go ahead and show you the NAM, total snowfall on the NAM, focusing on western Siouxland. May get up to an inch or two, but again, there's a lot of dry air, and it's painting about 0.6 of an inch here. Even in Omaha, they have an advisory, but it is not looking very good at the moment. And again, storm systems well enough to the south, and what's happening is we have a lot of dry air coming in from the northeast. So you notice there's no precipitation up through here; it's all dry. So that dry air is coming in, cutting off the snow. Now, if we had a south wind with more humidity and moisture moving up, then we could definitely get more snow. And if the storm was closer, typically you want the storm to travel about 100 miles is pretty good south of you, and then be on the north side if you really want a good snow. So as long as the storm's south of you, you can get a really good precipitation snowfall area. And yeah, so anyway, like I mentioned before, all the snow for all the snow lovers will be way down to the south across Kansas and Missouri, and really stretching all the way through Washington, D.C. at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and put the alerts back on. Again, I wish this was an easier way to turn on the layer here, but there really isn't. So I'm going to take that off. And so this winter weather advisory is in effect here for western Siouxland until 6 p.m. Sunday here. So that's showing 2 to 4 inches. Big thing out of the weather for Siouxland is cold, bitter Arctic temperatures. Okay, that's the big weather maker here for us in Siouxland and Sioux City, as we do have the polar vortex. I'm sure you've all heard the polar vortex. It's nothing new. It just sounds kind of, if you want to create clickbait, definitely sounds awesome. Like, oh wow, the polar vortex. Something that typically does happen, and it's always there. It's just really weak in the summertime, strongest in the winter time. So I won't bore you with all the details. I'll just kind of quickly explain what it is. So polar vortex way up here in Canada, and then we have blocking high. So we have an area of high pressure way over here towards Greenland, and what happens is it kind of backs up, and then the jet stream dips south, and then all that cold air aloft comes down into the United States. And in fact, what I can do is go ahead and show temperatures here. So go ahead and zoom in so you can see all that cold. Now that's for I'll go ahead and go right now. So we'll go ahead and show you temperature here as you see. So it shows that, well, that was back at 8 p.m. So 11 p.m. 13 degrees. So you can see as the cold air, this right here is below freezing. So in fact, you have the cold weather advisories way up to the north because it'll be that cold. And then for us, 10 o'clock by 9 a.m. tomorrow, we warm up a little bit there, but the Arctic blast will definitely be with us. And hey, welcome to January. That's just it. Wow, look at that! Look at that cord pull, that cord area. Oh yeah, definitely. Wow. Wow. So we'll actually be warmer here in Sioux City. It makes sense with the snow and all that, but usually it's the other way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the radar since it's been a while since I showed the radar here. Another excellent program here. It's always good to have multiple radars here because technology is technology. So if something goes down, it's always good to have backup here. So taking a look at this radar, mostly again sleet and snow for the Kansas City area. Well, mostly sleet. Most of the snow is north of the river here. And in this peak down here is the freezing rain. So, and when you do have a little bit of snow mixed in down there as well. But, and then mostly rain when it comes pretty much Henry County and southward. Back towards Osceola, that and Bolivar and Nevada, all rain. Temperatures are above freezing in that location here, but for us, it's the mixed precipitation, and like I mentioned earlier, it does appear that we will transition to snow a little bit sooner than noon, and if that's the case, then we'll see more snow. And to give everyone a reminder about the different types of warnings, we have a lot of different warnings to talk about here. So I'll go ahead and go back to the warnings here. Okay, that's on. So I will go ahead and, in fact, switch over to, there we go. Alright, so a lot going on here weather-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and click on some areas here. So this is Ray County, north of the river here. So blizzard warning and a winter storm warning. Same way here with Lafayette, Jackson, and Saline counties. You can have both warnings, and the blizzard warnings, I believe, go in effect at 3 a.m. I'm going to double check here. There you go. Total snow and sleet accumulations between 8 to 12 inches with ice accumulations, a light glaze. Now, this is additional precipitation here. Actually, no, that's total. Okay, so, and that starts at, so at 3 a.m., the winter storm warning expires, and then it becomes a blizzard warning from 3 a.m. tonight till 3 a.m. on Monday. So, travel will definitely become a problem, and I'm going to switch and look over at, oh, okay, hi, Greensburg. Okay, I'll go ahead, Todd, and take a look here for you. How are you doing this evening here? I'll go ahead, switch this over, and I'll check on a couple of sources of data for you real fast. Greensburg, Indiana. Have you ever heard of Greensburg, Kansas? They had that huge tornado back in 2007 that destroyed, I believe, about 90% of the town. So definitely a strong tornado out there. Alright, checking the current conditions. Now, you do have that winter storm warning in effect from 7 a.m. Tomorrow, going until 7 p.m. on Monday here. Definitely going to be a big storm for you. So, snow starting tomorrow. Then snow and sleet, and it looks like the heavy snow and winter mix will be Sunday night, and Monday will be mostly all snow. I'll go ahead and run a couple model, some data off screen for you real fast here. And take a look here what we got here. Okay, so again, nothing going on here. Precipitation is dry, of course. Looking at the atmosphere here. So that makes 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like sleet though, looking at the precip type. Looks like Monday, overnight Monday, will be the greatest chance of sleet mixed in with some ice. Other than that, I see a lot of snow for you as the main precipitation type, with sleet from about midnight to about 5 a.m. on Monday, and then some icing, freezing rain, but really it's just a slight chance of that. Then it's mostly snow. So I'll go ahead and take a look at the radar for you here. I'll go switch over here and take a look here at your local area. Greensburg's down here. So again, you do have that winter storm warning in effect here. And so again, you guys are going to get strong winds like we are down here, up to 35 miles per hour, and then about 5 to 10 inches for total snow and sleet. Now, saying ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch, but that could be sleet as well. Well, mostly the sleet is figured in with the snow, so there could be a little bit of freezing rain. It's not looking like a big ice storm. Again, it's just a lot of snow, 5 to 10 inches here. And then I can take some model data for you as well. And we'll go ahead and do a global one. The GFS, that's our long-range model. And I'll go ahead and go to winter type. And I'll turn off the colors for you. The weather alerts. There you go. And then this will be the radar. Okay, so back up here. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and zoom out here for a region. And you can see mostly the snow. At least will show up for you. Okay, so that's 6 a.m. On Monday here. I think Monday will be the day where you get a lot of your snow. Yeah, go ahead and zoom out. Sorry about that. I'm doing this in real time here. Okay, so this is overnight now. Nothing, and then snow moves in tomorrow, and I'll be with you for most of the day. And again, as you work your way through the overnight, tomorrow night, overnight, so when you're going to get some mixed precipitation. Then I'll go back over to some snow. And as far as total accumulations go, take a look there. And we'll go... I'll go ahead and go freeze and rain for you. Yeah, See, it's not really painting much in the way. So what the National Weather Service does is go ahead. It's always better to kind of overpredict than, well, I want to say always, because if you overpredict, say, 20 inches of snow, which the models do throw out, and more likely it'll be 13 inches of snow, then people will remember that higher amount. So, but I see what they were doing by, predicting 1/10 of an inch, but I really don't think you're going to get 1/10 of an inch. I think it'll be mostly snow. And I'll go ahead and back to the snowfall for you. Excuse me. Okay. So, yeah, for you, big thing out there here will be your snowfall accumulations. So, there you go. So, GFS model showing 14, but again, go 5 to 10 or something like that. Always good to count on less, but prepare for more just in case. Okay, and I'll go ahead and check some of the comments here. Oh, hello, David. How are you doing? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh. Do a reset right now. Take a look at the latest information. Actually, I want to talk power outages right now and see what we have to work with for power outages. I really hope that there won't be much in the way of power, but there's already a couple of counties in Kansas that's already reporting some power outages from this storm. So I'm going to go ahead and go to, there you go. So I click on that indicator, that way it clears the screen so we can look at the data. So power outages, Miami County, over 1,000 customers out. So about 9% of the customers out there. Franklin County, customers out over 1,000, and so that's about 18% of the customers that's out. And that was updated at 10:34. So zoom in out. That's pretty much all in the region. This up here, not weather, related right now. So I won't really focus on that area. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the radar animation over the region here. All this precipitation down here, I'll go ahead and highlight it. That more than likely is reaching the ground. This up here, a lot of dry air. And this back through here, I'm going to look at some data and see if that's actually reaching the ground. Go ahead and take that off here, because I'm curious if that's reaching the ground. And one way to kind of get an idea if it is to take a look at the local radar here and to see what okay, yeah, that's saturated because you don't really see a donut hole. If you see a donut, yeah, that looks saturated. Okay, so this area out there here is saturated, so that's one reason why you have the National Weather Service continuing the advisories here for Western Siouxland, and not for us. So the advisories, for example, are there. That's not the whole advisory. That's just the Siouxland counties that I highlighted that are under an advisory. And one way you can tell that the air is saturated is dry, I should say, is you notice how it's trying to move up towards Sioux Falls, but there's like a donut hole right through here. Donuts are good, but when it comes to dry air and snow, the dry air evaporates the snow before it reaches the ground. So all this is zero, none. So not happening here in Sioux City. It's too dry out there. So later on we may saturate and then get an inch or two. So I go ahead and take a look at the regional radar again for. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, do a radar update here for our friends down in Kansas City. So as you can see, the radar's predicting where the mixed precipitation is. So it shows, oh wow, the sleet is pretty much went from sleet to snow. So just know it's still mixed precipitation out there in the form of frozen precipitation. And I'll go ahead and choose this image and this one. Okay, yeah. So anyway, put this into motion. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take a look at the current observations around the region here. Thank you for that. Yes, definitely a lot of ice. I noticed that notice that on the cameras, because I'm looking at them in the background and they're all iced up. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and doing this in real time, so I do apologize for okay, the delays here. So whoa, okay, there you go. So this is our area of, this is from MoDOT here. It shows all the whole area, pretty much travel not advised, right? They're all covered and stuff. And if we look at the cameras, look at this. You can see a little bit of a car that went by there, but again, really don't see much of anything there on that camera. But honestly, compared to the other cameras, that's probably one of the best ones. So definitely see a lot of sleet out there. Very, very slick, icy conditions across the area, and accidents as well being reported. So if you don't have to be on the roadways, I definitely recommend you just chilling at home. Now look at this one, it's all iced over, so definitely don't see anything out of that camera. Okay, so again, it's all pretty much mixed precipitation through the Kansas City area. Very slick out there. And I'm going to check and see some observations here. Alright, go ahead and transition into that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go detail display. Okay, so I put on the screen some observations here, and what I'm going to do is zoom in and get the latest information here. So we'll see in that it's all freezing. Yeah, overcast. Windy, so 20 mile per hour winds with 25 mile per hour wind gusts right now. Okay, so where is that? Okay, at least summit here. So 26 degrees is air temperature and 22 degree dew point with the wind from the northeast. So KCI, yeah, definitely. Although no gust out there, so that is good. So some locations again reporting some gusty winds. The only one that's really showing gust right now is the Lee Summit observation. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at another radar here that I use. Alright, so zooming in here, mostly sleet around the Kansas City area here. I'm going to, there you go, okay, that's pretty much all that I can do here. Alright, radar control here. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, so lots of sleet out there right now. There you go. Okay, moving through the area, mixing with snow. Now, if this was all snow, we could easily get 20 inches out of this, and there won't be ice. So we're dealing with both tonight, ice, and then tomorrow, mainly afternoon, after about 12 p.m., we will all be, at least in Lafayette, sorry, didn't mean to zoom in like that, at least in Lafayette and Jackson counties, that's the switchover, and it may be a little longer than that though for Cass and Johnson County as far as the switchover goes. So looks like Marshall, if this radar image is correct, it's all snow, and it's snowing fairly heavy out there in Marshall. So if you're out there in Marshall, please let me know if you're seeing snow or if the radar's just guessing wrong, because this is just based on data. It's not an actual observation. It's always good to look at the actual observation and not just what the radar shows, because sometimes they can glitch on you. So let us know what you got out there, and or if you have any questions for specific locations, I'd be happy to look it up for you. Hello, Corbin. How are you doing tonight? And I want to thank everyone for watching and subscribing. I see that a few of you already subbed, and I appreciate that. The more subs we get, the better. Okay, definitely. How are you doing out there, Corbin? I'll go ahead and take a look at the data behind the scenes here and be right back. Portland, Indiana. Been out to Indiana once. Really, really nice out there. Salem. I think that's where I was many years ago. I think in 2010 or so. Yeah. Would love to go back to Indiana. That would be really nice. Okay, so I'm going to go here. So I'm going to check with the National Weather Service here and see what kind of weather advisories we have right now. So winter weather advisory in effect. That goes tomorrow 7 p.m. through Monday morning at 10. And snow, about 30% chance of snow. Then tomorrow night, the snow chance goes up to 90%. And that's when the winter weather advisory goes into effect. And I do apologize. That's the heater kicking on. And I do apologize for the heat kicking on. So I'm going to go ahead and look at a couple of graphs here and just get an idea of all the precipitation types and stuff. From the looks of it, though, it should all be snow for your area. And yeah, it looks like it'll all be snow. And go specific here. Definitely appreciate you watching. Just started this channel. I mainly cover Sioux City, Iowa, but big storms like this, I like to provide as much coverage for people and give them as much value as I can to give them the weather information that they need. And we'll go ahead and switch over to India. I'm going to go ahead now and take a look at the radar information here. As you can see, there's nothing going on now, but what I could do is I can run some modeling for you. And I'm going to go here. Got a lot of programs on in the background, so. Alright. I believe I'll be south of Fort Wayne. There it is. Okay, so Portland. I'm going to go ahead and run a model here. The GFS. It's our long range model, and it's fairly accurate. Again, it's just a model, and sometimes the models are way out to lunch here. So I'll go ahead and zoom in here and see. Okay. Alright, so this is total snowfall on the 16th at 6 a.m. So this particular model has about 6 inches of snow, and that jives with the information that I just read off the chart here. In fact, what I can do is go ahead and go to the precipitation type. Now, this is a forecast radar product. So this is basically what the radar could look like going into time. So this is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Light snow to the south. Light snow may be developing more likely in the evening. So 6 p.m. light snow moving into the area. Could be moderate at times. And be with you through the overnight on Sunday. And then moves out on Monday. So I hope that answers your question there. And not looking at for any icing problems or anything like that. So that is really good. Few locations, yeah, not much. Yeah, not much out there. So again, the yellow areas on this particular map indicate power outages. And I want to go ahead and take a look at the radar information here. And go ahead and go winter storm mode. So it's all mixed precipitation right now. It's showing all snow here on this particular radar image, but just know that it's still mostly sleet. And for Lafayette and Jackson County and Kansas City areas, and then any snow will be up here north of the river will be snow. Okay, this is sleet. And then this is freezing. So, freezing rain. So, that is a look at the radar right now. And go ahead and go back here and look for your questions out to here. Okay, clear that. Clear that. Oh, hi. Hi from Minnesota. You're welcome. Alright, I'm going to be Mr. Chick-fil-A guy for a moment. My pleasure. Alright, hello from North Minnesota. Yeah, well, thank you very much. A lot of ice out there. Definitely a lot of travel problems. Luckily right now we've only have a few counties just southwest of Kansas City reporting power outages so far, and in a couple of counties across Kansas, minor outages. But I'm really hoping any snow or any ice accumulations on the power lines would be minor. Now, the good news is a lot of it, at least in Kansas City, a lot of the precipitation is sleet, and that just bounces off the power lines. My area of main concern, I should say, is folks. I'll go ahead and clear that off here. Move this down. The main concern for ice will be way down in this area. Well, the models have been painting about an inch of ice there. Now, if you get an inch of ice on the power lines, it's going to be devastating. You really start getting problems with power lines at about half of an inch of ice. So you really want the freezing rain. If you want power outages, freezing rain's the way to go. That'll do have the most impact on power lines. Sleet, like I said, bounces off power lines, so that's if you're going to get frozen precipitation, whether it be sleet, definitely sleet over freezing rain. But again, snow, you don't have that. But again, you would have, like I said, in Kansas City. Let me go back to Kansas City here. Models have been painting crazy high amounts. Some areas 20 inches, and one of the saving graces to that is the sleet. The sleet cuts down on the snow totals, but it creates ice out there. So definitely, best thing to do is just stay at home and stay off the roadways and hang out with your friends and family. And sometimes it's not always the funnest to hang out with family, but it's sure a lot better than being on the roadways, and especially if there's an accident out there. So yeah, I appreciate you watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the radar up for a few minutes and take a quick break, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. But like I mentioned, I'll leave the radar up and just take a quick break. Okay, I am back, everyone. Just took a quick break here. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. We do have a question. So what I'm going to do, this will be for everyone watching up towards the Baltimore area here in Maryland here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out to show the region here. And we're going to start by taking a look at the radar. Of course, nothing is happening. And that's expected to stay dry. But right now it looks like a total of 4 to 8 at last check. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the latest data here to get an idea of the type, which it looks like it'll all be snow based on the temperature profile, and then how much. So we're going to start off by looking at what the radar could look like, and this would be tomorrow by 9 p.m. So again, it'll be more of a tomorrow night event for you out there. So past 9 or 10 o'clock is when the snow will begin. And this is midnight. There'll be some snow. Could be heavy at times as got a lot of precipitation that will move through. So about 4 to 8 inches of snow to be expected. But it all moves out by the 7th. So let's go ahead and take a look at the total snowfall accumulation here. We'll look at 10 to 1 ratio. And then we'll get in there really good there for you. And we'll go ahead and take a look here. So it's putting about 7 to 4 inches there. And so on the region, 6 to 7 inches. So 4 to 8 would be a pretty good forecast for your location there. So thank you again for watching. And like I mentioned, I'm seeing some subscribers. I appreciate now if you subscribe, hit go ahead, comment, and subscribe so I can personally thank you because I really appreciate you guys watching. This is just a passion of mine to do the weather. So my name is David Stevens. I focus on pretty much the Siouxland area and then the region around Siouxland. So from Kansas City, Des Moines, Omaha, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, pretty much anywhere within this area I like to focus on. But whenever you have a historic storm situation out there like we have now, with this huge storm system moving across across the middle part of the country, with the power of internet, why not? I got the technology, got the tools, might as well help people, as many people as I can. And so again, feel free to ask questions. I appreciate the questions out there. I really appreciate you guys watching as well. So I want to give everyone an update, kind of do a reset for everybody. Anyone that's just now tuning in, I want to go ahead and take a look at the current radar information here. And so we have a huge storm system that's affecting a good portion of the country right now. So we're talking historic snows. Ice is going to be a large section of about half of an inch of ice all the way up to a little bit over an inch of ice. And anything over about half of an inch of ice, definitely up to an inch, is devastating of ice. But your real power outages typically begin at about half of an inch of ice out there. So this is a look at the national radar here, and again, we're all focused here on the middle part of the country. We are seeing some areas in Kansas, a few counties showing up with some power outages already, and they've been having ice for quite a bit already time-wise. So I want to go ahead and take a look at the power outages. So Saline County out there, so about only 2% of the people without power. Franklin County in Kansas, 1,200. That's about 17% of the customers out there. And about 10% of the customers in Miami County, Kansas, are without power right now. And then we just have a couple of areas with 32 out there in Kiowa County. So again, a lot of freezing rain towards just north of Dodge City, Great Bend, Hutchinson, Wichita, and stretching to around the Clinton area, Lake of the Ozarks region. You're getting mostly freezing rain, and then east of the Springfield area, you're getting freezing rain. Right now, Springfield and Joplin, it is all rain, but again, as the cold air moves south from Canada, it will, of course, switch over to some more winter weather for you guys down there as well. So, for our viewers up here in Sioux City and most of Iowa, a lot of this is not reaching the ground. We have a lot of dry air that's really eating away at the snowfall for us, even down in Omaha. Not really expecting much in the way of precipitation from this. Now, this out through here is reaching the ground. I'll go ahead and highlight this area. Now, this is definitely reaching the ground. It is light, but it is reaching the ground. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and take a look at the severe weather alerts. We have a lot of them across the country. So I'll go ahead and put this into kind of do a summary for everyone. So, Western Siouxland, winter weather advisory. No big deal, maybe 2 to 4 inches at best. That is for our western counties. Sioux City, a lot of dry air, so not expecting much in the way of snow. If any snowflakes make it down, it'll just be flurries and maybe a dusting at best. Omaha area, again, a lot of dry air eating away at the accumulations, so maybe another 2 inches if you even had any so far in your neck of the woods. And then for our viewers across Kansas, most of Kansas right now is under a blizzard warning that goes into effect from 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday for a good portion of the area. So 6 to 14 inches of snow is expected, but winds could gust high as 50 miles per hour in a good portion of the region here. So Kansas City, you're now under a blizzard warning. Earlier it was to your north. Now that's shifted. Not really shifted, but more counties were added as we are expecting in the Kansas City area. Blizzard conditions, 8 to 12 inches of snow, and then a light glaze, but we already had snow, a little bit of snow, but mostly sleet out there in Kansas City, lots of ice. So, snow and sleet accumulations up to 1 inch. So, it'll be light as far as the actual ice glazing goes on the power lines, thankfully. So far, not really seeing a big impact on power throughout the Kansas City area. And of course, your winds could gust as high as 40 miles per hour. And that goes into effect at 3 a.m. Tonight. And that expires at 3 a.m. on Monday. So Monday for the commute to work will be a mess throughout the area. Your main roads, hopefully they'll have a chance to plow them and treat them. But a lot of this rural area, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the... I'm going to leave it on. A lot of the rural areas, it just takes a while for them to get to. So, and then the area in pink is your winter storm warning. Down south into the Ozarks, Springfield, winter weather advisory. Springfield itself, looking at flash freeze. It's when it snows or it rains, and then the temperatures drop below freezing fairly quickly, and then it turns ice pretty fast. So Sunday evening into Sunday night, that's when temperatures will fall rapidly, and you have the potential of a flash freeze. So that's southwest Missouri from noon Sunday to 6 a.m. on Monday. Now to the east of there, it's going to be kind of hard to tell because the advisory color and the ice storm warning very, very similar. So in this ice storm warning, it's going to be windy. Flash freeze is possible and total snow and sleet accumulations up to 2 inches, and ice accumulations of 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, with much of the area. And some of the areas, the modeling was showing about an inch of snow. So let's go ahead and take a look at the warning area. We do have the winter storm warning pretty much stretching now all the way through basically almost to Colorado, eastward through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Washington, Baltimore area, as I just looked up there to get the latest snowfall forecast. And so pretty much if you're in any of these impacted areas, it's best to play it safe, stay at home, and only travel if you must. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the advisories for you, and actually I want to see what this will show. County, okay, so I'll go ahead and do that, and kind of changing some thicknesses here. Okay, go ahead and take off the alerts. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put the radar back on. Kind of do a reset here. Big winter storm. I mean, normally I never really like to hype anything because so people, for clickbait, huge historic storm. But this one is actually a huge historic storm, and a lot of areas will pick up a lot of record-breaking snow. Like, for example, Kansas City, some of the models were showing 20 inches of snow. So it's likely that the Kansas area will get around a foot of snow. And again, it all depends largely on how fast it can transition to all snow tomorrow. So sooner we transition all snow, the higher the amounts go. But the later it takes, the longer it's sleet, the less snow we'll get. So definitely prepare for, most likely a lot of your stores are probably running out of bread and milk anyway. I saw a lot of the memes this week. Some of them are pretty funny, and then some of the snow forecast memes of 1 to 78 inches. That's what it feels like sometimes, because that's the sharp gradient in the cutoff. In fact, earlier here, I'll go ahead and stop this and just show you that our modeling data, we look at a lot of models here to get an idea of how much snowfall we're going to get. Now, this is the NAM. This goes out to the 7th, so it should be all of the snow. And this particular one has about 20 inches of snow, 21 inches of snow for our local areas. So, and then down here towards Johnson County here, it's less than that. But we also have a lot of sleet. So, and then there's a bullseye up here in northeast Kansas. Of over 20 inches of snow. So that is definitely going to be on the high side. And that's just one model. Let me go ahead and take a look at our GFS model. Put this into motion here. And this will be the sharp cutoff. So 15 inches, solid 15 inches for most of Jackson County. And then as you get into Lafayette County, it goes down somewhat. And then you get to Odessa, it goes from 15 to 8 inches. And then when you get to Warrensburg, about 6 inches. A little less than that down there towards Holden. And about 5 inches in Clinton. And a little less down south there. Because they're going to have more freezing rain, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the freezing rain here. If you notice, things do change with updates on the model data. Now, this particular model has shifted the ice downward slightly, actually quite a bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at, this is the Euro actually. Let's see what the Euro has to say about things. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that will have the, okay. Yeah, that doesn't have it. So I'll go back to the NAM. And that's the temperatures. And I'll go freezing rain. So looking at the NAM, going out 60 hours here, and this is the freezing rain totals. Again, it has some spots over an inch of ice, and then for our local area, about 1/10 of an inch. Now this is more likely additional, not what already has fallen over the area. So I just want to point out the difference in model data. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our short-term model. Okay, this is our short-term model. It shows the ice. This is the ice. And yeah, about 1/10 of an inch just south of our area here. And about another 1/4 of an inch. Now this is only until 4 p.m. tomorrow, but by then it should switch over to snow. So we'll take a look at snow until then. Okay, so this will give us more of an idea about the switchover. Now again, it looks like it's fluctuating model to model on the time that we switch over to all snow. This one has it about 3 to 4 p.m. by the time we switch over to all snow. So if that's the case, it's going to cut down on our snow total. But again, if it happens before lunch, then we'll definitely get about 1 foot of snow here in that area here. So I'll go ahead and take a look at Facebook comments. It's been a while. You are welcome. And thank you for watching. There you go. Alright, so no questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and take another quick break here. And I will be back in about 5 minutes. Alright, everyone. Okay, I'm back. I just want to give everyone an update here. Just checked flight delays, of course, from KCI. Basically, a lot of them. Pretty much everything's canceled. Everything's, very, very delayed, showing up in the status. And again, individual flights, there are, in fact, I'll go back and check the status. Seattle's delayed. Canceled. Most of them canceled. Atlanta's canceled. Yeah, most of them are pretty much canceled. Road closures. Highways are a mess here. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you the road conditions throughout the area here. And it is a mess. Okay, multiple roads have already been closed. Numerous accidents. There was one vehicle that somehow came off the bridge right into the river. So I don't know much about that. That's what was shown on Facebook not too long ago. And so that's what we're looking at now. Looking at all these exclamation marks. Some kind of closure here. The roads closed. This is up towards 29. I noticed that there's a lot of closures on 29. Everything's completely covered. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anything here. This is a look. Actually, this is one of the nicer views. So, see a lot of ice out there. There does appear to be traffic, unless that's a plow. Because there was a lot of closures out there. It's just reporting closed. So, yeah, it looks like that's open. That's 35 Vivian Road exit here. Let's go ahead and let's see. This is 435 Rental Road. Okay, it looks like that could be probably Crew. MoDOT. 23rd Street right now. That's 23rd Street. Again, all these roads are covered. Sleet. Very, very, very slick out there. So, be careful out there if you must drive. Yeah, just take it easy out there. And don't really do anything foolish, and then I think you'll be okay. As long as you don't do anything foolish. But I was looking at the snow totals here. Now this is the current radar here, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you here and kind of put that into pause for you. Now, good news is it does look like the heavier snow shifted a little bit more to the south, so Kansas City, Odessa, Oco is going to be going to get heavier snow, a little bit less ice. Again, we're still going to get a lot of ice, but it looks like the trend is switching over to snow a little bit earlier than expected tomorrow. We're still looking a little bit before lunchtime on that based on the model. Some models still have us switching over about 2 or 3 o'clock, but more models have us switching over 11 to noonish. So this is a look at the radar right now. I'll zoom out for the region. As you can see, it's a big storm here as the radar is working in overtime, scanning the skies here. There's a broadcast media report of 20th, 100th of 0.2 basically on freezing rain. That's in Florida. And then for us, zooming in, here we go, live sweep here, getting the latest data for us. Most of us is still sleet with some freezing rain. And then if you go far enough south, then you run into just rain. And then some snow starting to mix in over towards Kansas City, but mostly sleet still. And then north of the river over towards Ray County and over towards Carrollton, looking like mostly snow. And then up towards Camera, looks like a breakup through there. And really, not much in the way of snow up there. So, big system, definitely going to be already causing problems throughout the area. Comment if you want to know your specific location, and I'd be glad to look it up. Any weather information for you. Definitely look that up for you. So, what are you guys getting out there right now? Where are you guys located at? And again, if you do subscribe, make sure you comment subscribed, and then that way I can thank you for subscribing. Definitely appreciate that. Looking at the National Weather Service information here. I'm going to look that up really fast and see the latest observations. Blizzard warning still in effect for Kansas City at 3 o'clock in the morning. So right now we have a winter storm warning until 3 a.m. Then we move into a blizzard warning from 3 a.m. until 3 a.m. on Monday. So light freezing rain being reported at the airport and Lee Summit right now. So just stay safe out there, everyone. And we'll get through it. We'll be all right. Just better off safe than being on the highway and, something happening to you, and that would not be a good thing for you. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of refresh here. So looking at the latest data here, winter storm warning in effect until 3 a.m. Then we go into blizzard warning at 3 a.m. at midnight. Basically, we switch. Basically, we go from winter storm warning to a blizzard warning when the winds kick up. So any time the wind is above 35 miles per hour sustained for at least 3 hours, that is that basically a blizzard. So that's why we have the blizzard warnings, and it's been initially the blizzard warning was north of the river. Now they added they added a few hours ago. Kansas City area, Oak Grove, and Odessa added to the blizzard warning going into effect at 3 a.m. So anyway, I think I'm going to sign off for the night. I will leave the live stream up, though. I will definitely leave the live stream up. And leave the radar on the screen so you guys can be tracking that. And yep, that's it. I want to thank everyone for watching and subscribing and giving us a like and sharing the video. Everyone, have a good night and stay safe.